Okay, so welcome back. Let's continue with part C. Remember now, we built out the asset screen so we're going to reuse some of the default components just to be consistent across here. So there's repetitions here. If you haven't noticed that we use the a lot of the styles, the color, the component, just to be consistent on through all the screens that you come across with this as well. And that's a very important technique, is to have the user have an experience that they actually are not moving out of the app that's having issues or glitches and all that stuff with it. So it'll make it very streamlined, making a consistent look throughout the entire app with it, and makes building constructions a lot easier with it as well. I always like to when I program, I always like to, even there are library files that we do to reuse stuff with it. There are functions that we reuse all the time with it. So functions, there are variables that we reuse all the time with it, and there are constants that we are reusing all the time. So taking the concept of the programming world and bringing it to the design world with it, it's the same thing. You're building something that is kind of like a template, and you're reusing a lot of this as you're building along with it. So you don't have to rebuild a particular button or a particular color, or you can mismatch very, just not to reinvent the wheel is my point with it as well. All right, let's continue on here with it. And here we're going to actually come over. I'm going to come over to the asset screen over here. We built some form of default components here. So let's grab some of that component, and we're going to click and drag to the artboard. I'm sorry. Drag it over to the artboard, and there's some defaults that we have here. So let's call this one address. And since the application knows the name already, I'm going to log on and give and I have a sign up previously with it, and give it my name. Let's grab the focus form in the field here, and as you can see, if you click on the component, it will take you to that component. If you click and drag, that's how you use it on the artboard here with it. So you already have an input form that's already been have that name and that focus, the stated input in there. So let's go ahead and say name here, and we'll pre-populate this with my name in this right now with it. Make up a fictional name. My name's not Aaron Lawrence, but you know what I mean, right? So and then we'll come down, we'll make up a fictional address if we need to. Change that to the proper font. I made it all uppercase accidentally, so with it, address, copy that down here, duplicate that so we can reuse that address in here as well. Since this is San Francisco, works in San Francisco is the map that I'm building it on, so we're gonna go to and make this about 30% opacity, so that we actually, before we do this in San Francisco, we need to actually input the suit here. Okay, I can't talk and chew at the same time. Let me type this really quick. Apartment, we'll make this about 30% as a default, so it's disable. And same thing we're going to do with the address and suite here as well with it. So copy that. Let's go ahead and see how Figma does that. It gives you a spacing attribute here. So we'll fix it equally distributed across the field and have a focus about 20 pixel each with it. Let's do California. And the next thing here we need to make is to be equally distributed as well with it. Let's give a fictional phone number in here as well, like a template phone number. All right, pretty simple since we have already had a component built out in this thing with it. I'm going to go ahead and double click, check the final page. Yep, that looks all right. So let's go ahead and prototype this. I go next. Now we have the address. With this, I'm going to copy this address I'm holding onto the optional and option button, right, and clicking on the artboard, drag it over shift. I'm gonna copy, going to press, and I'm going to double click on this layer of this artboard and call it address 1. All right, so at this point I'm going to copy the keyboard that we're going to actually log in. Just Command C. I'm going to go select the address. Command V. I'm going to bada bing, bada bing, bada boom. We have the keyboard now show now. Good. So let's go ahead and just pre-populate this data here. As you can see, I populated the component, activated the already on these fields. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy and hold down the shift, option shift, and drag, and just this over to the top. All my phone number, the apartment, and address. So I'm going to Command C now, copy these, and delete the apartment. And the phone number is, I'm going to select the artboard again, Command V, and place those here. And so this one, that paste is in place. Now that I have the address, I'm going to type the address just like I'm going to put in 100, something fictional, 1110 number, Boba Street with it. And we'll do here is the apartment / suite, and let's just done 1, 2, 3 apartment with it as well. So something fictional. Grab Aaron Lawrence here. Do phone number 1235555, something like this with it. So 112225555, something like this. Something fictional. This okay. Okay. So at this point, this go button, we need to make this say done. So if you select go back ahead and change the text over the Roboto so we can change it, and press double click on the text box and call it done. And that's what we're going to do, is to allow it to move it forward. It will just slide the keyboard down, and we can go to the next button and move on to the next screen. So that at this point, I'm going to hold the option, and I'm going to click and drag the mobile prototype or the mobile artboard to make a duplication of it. And I'm going to see what you can do to how smart Figma is. So, and we're going to notice the copy of this artboard. And we will let it go and change the address from here to 2. And notice that I was numbering the artboard, so it just automatically starts to number incrementally with it. My artboard's a very smart tool right here. So I'm going to delete the keyboard now and let the prototype this. All right, so going back to the prototype, let's go ahead and click on the address and the apartment and the phone number here. Let's do Command G and right click and just group as one selection. And go ahead and tap, go ahead and drag the prototype GUI arm to the next address screen. And we want to tap, just want to get instant with this. So we do not want any fancy stuff happening here at this time with it. So let's go ahead and select the done button here and click on grab the GUI arm. Nothing fancy. Click on the artboard address 2 and tap on the again instant. So nothing fancy right now with it, just a smooth transition with it. So right now this happens. It takes an apartment phone number and then the keyboard. We just automate the population artboard with it, with the individual screens for 1 with it. So let's press 1. Takes you to the artboard. Now down to move to the next with it. Let me stop right here. I'm going on almost 10 minutes, okay? So hold on. So I'm going to copy the address to artboard right now with it. And what I like to do is to show you Again, you try to work with your keyboard, Command C or Control C, however you're at. I'm on a Mac right now with it, so it just helps for you to use your keyboard and your mouse at the same time with it as well. So Figma is a great tool. We're going to see, I'm going to copy the address board, address to artboard. And I shift, I just dragged it over, copy it with it. So hold down I'm on a Mac, hold down your Option to get the double arrow key, click and drag. Again, I just copy it and I can do Command V. It will paste it again for me. So Command C, Command V. Command C is to copy, Command V is to paste. Let's just call this one payment and call this one, relabel this at the top as payment. We're going to actually do a prototype here with it. So let's grab this arrow. We'll go from the address to the arrow was going to the checkout with it. So we're going to now do the back button and the arrow to the payment screen. So again, nothing fancy. We just want to have it tapped, and we'll do, and we just want it to move out. Yep, correct. So let's want to move to the right. So let's go ahead and delete and some here, and then we'll do a prototype like this. So now when I press next, oh, that didn't work. Let's see what happened here. So let's see, we'll grab the next and grab the prototype arm, connect payment 1, and we want to move here with it. So we want it to move here. So we want to tap on the move, and we want it to come in from the left, and then we want the arrow here to move. So move out, and we want it to come out from the right. So let's go back that. Here's our checkout. We go next. We do information, address information, phone number, press done. I press the next button, and then the page goes to coming in from the left. It goes from the in from the right. Yes, and you can see that. And at this screen here, you're going to move out from the right. So you can see now that moves left. Our next button here says that the page is going to move from the left, and the arrows connecting to the address to the screen, moving out from the right here. So that makes it look like it's moving in, moving out. Okay, so let's look at it. Look at the payment detail. We had payment detail here with it. So let's get the detail in the top. Move to the top. Let's go ahead and grab the regular milk and sweet, semi-sweet, sweet milk, and medium ice text here. And let's just paste directly in the same spot as the payment screen. Let's just charge this delivery with it as well. So hang on, I'm going to pause here for a second.